Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Monimovement podcast. This podcast, Deeper Conversations, is a platform that I've created in order to have open conversations and discussions where we listen with an open mind and heart. I strongly believe that we are all just walking each other home at the end of the day, and we can learn something from everyone. If everything is truly happening for us, not to us, and for our greatest good, then everything and everyone we encounter in our life is for a reason, even if it's just for a moment. My platform, the Moni Movement, hashtag Monimoves, is the integration of both ego and spirit, dark and light, as I interview creatives that have had a major impact on my own development. Enjoy. Magic is supposed to turn your fantasy into reality, and that's what I want everyone to be able to do. Quote, Mahai is a beautiful soul who is an author, sorcerer, and creative. He has recently surpassed 130,000 followers on just one social media platform alone. Mahai practices sorcery and enjoys working with clients on various spiritual needs. If you enjoyed this conversation today, please support Mahai and his work by clicking the links in the description. This podcast episode is sponsored by the Moni Movement, as well as Misunderstood and Company. Click the link in my bio to learn more. One of my favorite quotes Mahai have said is, magic is supposed to turn your fantasy into reality, and that's what, quote, I want everyone to be able to do. And I think that's super cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first?
I would love to. So nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm very happy to meet Miss Monica over here. And so I practice sorcery. I work with jinn, like genies and stuff. They're more based in like Arabian folklore and like Thousand and One Nights and in Islam and stuff like that. But they're not as bad as people say, at least to me. And they've taught me pretty much all the magic that I know. I summon spirits or I make spirits. Some people call those egregores, servitors, and then the list goes on. And then and I write sigils, talismans, and I just have conversations with different spirits, put them in bottles, have them do spells for people, working for people, and so on and so forth. And I love it. I've been practicing for going on 7 years now, and working heavily with them for the 7 years.
And you recently surpassed 130,000 followers on social media. I think there's more than that across different platforms. How do you feel about that?
I'm really, really happy about that. So I appreciate, the shot. So I've been trying to build my following on Instagram. So I think that just hit like 10K and I was like, gotcha. And then and I just passed 130K on TikTok. So I'm really happy about that. This year I wanted to take it more seriously because I learned a lot of magic from them and it can take a long time just because like I'm young. There's a lot to read, a lot to do and all that stuff. And I wanted to take some time up for myself. And then this year I was like, you know what, pedal to the metal, let's get working. And I'm really excited for it. I'm really proud of myself. So yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I feel like you work really hard and you're really consistent. What is your approach to what does your routine look like in terms of that? Yeah.
Thank you for, sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
So my routine, usually I read, so I have like a whole bunch of books like in my closet, like I have a little library. So after I read a bunch of books and I meditate and stuff, I'll usually summon a spirit, like I'll summon an angel, a jinn, or a succubus or whatever. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I want to talk about such and such today. And just so I don't say too much, so, because some of these aren't I'm not a succubus, like I'm not, a demon or an angel, whatever. So I asked them like, hey, can I say this? And they'll be like, sure, cool. So the videos are usually kind of pretty short. Sometimes they're a little longer. And I just make sure I try and refine it as much as I can. Have like a little script and go on. Try and keep it plain and simple.
Yeah.
Try my best. Try my
And
best.
I love that. And I feel like social media, it's a tool.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier, we were talking a little bit about, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not really like into tech stuff too. And
Yeah,
then,
no, I'm
yeah,
just not good with technology.
that's okay. But how do you feel about the, like incorporating those two worlds, you know?
That's a good question. So with technology and everything, so a lot of spirits don't like technology. And so because sound was like one of the first elements in like frequency. So since their bodies are more like water, I guess, like they can feel a lot of like, the 5G or whatever, like literally through their bodies and stuff. So a lot of those like clips of like ghosts like running through hallways and turning off lights or Jin doing that, they literally just kind of don't like the feed, like the feedback from the microphone, they can feel that everywhere. And so like with sound bowls, sound is really for cleansing if you want to go that far. Then I feel like I'm getting off topic, but
That's okay.
I'm not really good with technology. I'm not really great with technology. Now there are people, you can put spells in um sigils and digital formats and stuff, which are really fantastic. And I think technology is really awesome because there's people all across the world, family members, people we've never known before, and I'm very blessed to know. There's spirits everywhere, but there's different communities of different practitioners and just people all over the world. So with an email, how we met, or with TikTok or Instagram, you can meet these people, and it's so cool. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that too, because I feel like in the past, we talked about this originally, right? I feel like this world currently thrives, especially like corporate America, thrives off of gatekeeping information
You know.
and judgment. And that fear mongering instead of having an
Hmm.
open conversation with human beings and people and
Hmm.
spirits and everything, and really like
Hmm.
taking that time. Because originally you had talked about how the spirits you work with, they're not that bad. And I agree. I feel like everything's neutral, like
Pretty much.
it's our perceptions and our beliefs and like all that stuff, and there's nothing scary about things, just like having a
Not
conversation,
really.
right?
Literally. Spirits just walking around. And when I started practicing, I was like, I wasn't the best place in my life, but I was like, well, if they're so evil and stuff. But I was like, if they were so evil, they would have already done something. And it seems like I'm fine. So
Right,
like I was
right.
just like, cool. And it's just progressed from there. It's been really fun. Truly.
Yeah. And do you have, so I have some specific questions too now.
Uh-huh.
When did your spiritual journey like really begin? And what,
I saw
and
this
there's a
on the
second
email you
part to that
sent me.
too. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I said I saw this on the email you sent me. What was the second part? I would. Oh,
And then why do you feel the need to share it now, like publicly,
So that's a great question. So thank you for asking. So I was in college, and so I was gonna be a pastor when I was younger, and I grew up seeing a whole bunch of miracles and like the Pentecostal church and stuff. My family is really into the church, and I just met a lot of people with different religions, different faiths, different backgrounds, and I was like, cool. And then I saw people getting pulled from like waking up from the dead or like arms like where limbs were growing and stuff like in church, and I was like, I just need to do that. Like I have to do that. Like it was something that just triggered inside me. And then I got to college, and then I wanted to be a monk. Like I was going to go to a monastery, and then COVID happened, and then the monastery I was going to go to was like, hey, I'm saying like it's not a good time, it's not a safe time. Like we kind of got like locked down and everything, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I kept practicing, I kept reading, and some Jen had found me, and they were like, hey, how about you just learn from me? And I was like, no. And then after more conversation, then I was like, sure, yeah. And then maybe 2 years after that, I started with witchcraft, which is more like, herbs and spices. And then I tried to learn some wizardry, which is like the zodiacs and the planetary figures and stick squares. That's too much math for me. So I was like, let's just go to sorcery. And I think that was better for me, which is more like a fire science and talking with spirits, and they were like, hey, you need to teach this. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. And they were like, no, like you need to have a business so you can, have your own livelihood and stuff like that. You can control your wealth to you're really good at this. I had a knack for magic, which was nice. And so I picked it up really quickly. But I was really isolated, so I didn't know anyone else. And then they told me like, no, download TikTok. Like it was kind of baby steps. Download TikTok because I don't even have a TV. Like I've never had a TV. Like I kind of stay away from technology all day. I meditate like
Ooh,
6 hours, which is great. Like I love it. But I was just in my own little bubble, and they were like, no, babe, like get out the you're you're 21. Well, I'm 25 now, but like they're like, you're 21. Like go outside. And I was like, okay. So yeah.
yeah.
And then I built my channel based off of that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And was there any point in that where you were hesitant on like sharing information
Yes,
or like
just
beliefs,
because like, so like I didn't make magic, like I didn't make any religions, and and so I'm not really as extreme as some people, which is fine for them. And so when coming to, since I know religion is it can be a sensitive topic, just like politics or other morals that people have, I just don't like those conversations of, oh my gosh, I believe in this, you have to believe, like, baby,
control.
calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's too many things in this world. I mean, I live in a big city, so I've seen a lot of different colors of people, which is fantastic. And without, and also, I also think back, like, before religion, like, maybe if we didn't pray to the gods, we'd still be fine. We'd be fine. You know, that's totally fine. So, um, uh, I knew I was gonna get a lot of like the threats or something like, oh my gosh, like come back to Jesus. But I was like, hey, like I really don't care. Like, there's a reason you're seeing this video, and obviously you want to see me. So like, I guess we're just gonna talk to each other. And then honestly, talking to so many people who are kind of just like me, who didn't know their way around or who didn't fit the puzzle pieces together, because a lot of religions say the same thing, but someone's speaking French, someone's speaking Spanish, someone's speaking Latin, so the words are literally the same because the meanings. And some of the deities are the same, cool, especially like Indian and Asian deities, cool, but they just are on different sides of the world, which is fun, which is fun. And so after I kind of figured that out, I was like, oh, there's more people. We're not, it's not, I just love technology. Like, we're not as separate as people think. We're just not. It's so cool.
Yes. And like I feel
Mhm.
like that calling you had to like this is bigger than you. This is a
Yeah.
lot bigger
Like,
than
there are
just
so
us.
many
This.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
That's
you like
pretty
even
awesome. So, yeah,
fathom 100 what is it? I'm gonna combine the other accounts too. Like what is it, 150,000 people
I
who
think
like check in
so.
on your
There's
content, who you
like,
have impacted, you
not
know?
really. I can't. Not so. Like, there's this video, and this young lady was like, "Imagine 10 people. Imagine 100 people." And she was like like a classroom, a football stadium. And she was like, based on your content, like they all showed up for you. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and
Yeah.
I'm just like this little dude in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
I love it so much, and especially with magic and religion and just being able to share knowledge and just have fun. Like, magic is
Yeah.
supposed to be, it's based off of freedom and colors and just livelihood. So there's really no part of it that needs to be devilish, like angry. Like, I mean, there's parts to, of course, like to protect yourself and learn things, but it's fun. Magicians are supposed to have fun. So, yeah, yeah. I feel like I keep getting
Yeah.
off topic.
No, no, I love that. I love that. No, and I like something a mindset that's really helped me like flip things for me because I've had like a crazy life. I'm someone who also like practices alchemy.
Hmm.
But we weren't brought here to live a miserable life despite like that popular programming, you know?
You know?
And it's like when we were kids it was simple like that. You know what I mean? Like we our instincts is are to play, are to connect, are to love,
Hmm.
are you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
To have
Uh
fun, to build community. Uh-huh.
yeah, there's no moral meaning to like any of that. And you can change your life at any point. And my biggest thing, right? If you were to ignore your calling of creating that social media account, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you doubted yourself or whatever, you know what I mean? Those like inner thoughts. I don't know if you've been through
Uh-huh.
that before. I know a lot of us do
Mm.
go through that.
Real bad.
What like
Real
you wouldn't
bad.
be here right now. Like you know what I
No,
mean? Like it's
seriously.
you're always being guided, whatever you believe in.
Hmm.
You're always being guided
There,
and
yes.
led. And look at how many people you've impacted. How long have you been doing this for? Too 5 years now? You said?
I think, yeah, 5 years now. Yeah,
Yeah.
five
Okay.
years. I think I have had the TikTok for like 5 years. Yeah, and it's so funny. There's a saying that says like, what's it called? Either you go with the universe, like you do your purpose, or like the universe will pull you there, kicking and screaming. And people
Yeah.
had always told me my whole life to like you're gonna be an influencer, you're gonna be a social media person, you're gonna have a YouTube channel. And I was like, okay, like whatever. Anyway, but they had told me my whole life, and then I had also met other influencers and they were like, no, like, what's your Instagram, what's your TikTok? And I was like, baby, I don't have one, it's like, and then lo and behold, what
Yeah.
happened? So,
Yeah.
like, it's, people know what's that, like, there's, I love sayings and phrases, but they say like, it's hard for you to see your purpose usually because I mean, you get used to yourself. It's as easy as breathing. So it's easier for someone else to be like, oh, like, I know what that is because society will put you in the place they think you belong.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think it's really harmful if you don't believe in yourself and know who you are. It's really harmful because then you're gonna. Because I've had this experience myself, right, where I didn't know my light, my worth, and I let other people try to not make me be able to see that. So when I
Yeah.
was giving my power to other people, like letting them decide who I am, versus which is like what I grew up in, right, versus
Mhm.
me present day, which is like spirituality, magic, which in my opinion, like
Uh,
you said earlier, is like freedom right?
Hmm.
That's the most beautiful thing. I want everyone also
It
to
really
experience
is.
that.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
Like it really is. And there's just also also so much justice, especially for like what. So because I was originally going to go to school to work with sex offenders and sexual assault survivors, and like psychology and criminal justice, and I really, really loved it. And a lot of the clients that I have are people that have experienced different things in the world, in life, and stuff. And so it's really interesting to see because the world is at the state it's kind of always been, but it's getting better slowly, thankfully, or quickly. Um, it's interesting to see the different demographics in the world, especially when it comes to like South Africa right now, or in populations in the or just populations in America, like right home, right in front of us, because things are happening every day. And with the police, but with Magic also, you can have the justice and the help that you need sometimes because there is help out there. There's people that really want to do good things. The world is healing. The world, like, people smile all the time. You just have to find them. You have to go outside. What's that saying? Like, depression can't move, can't hit a moving target. And I love that. So yeah, so just keep
Yeah.
moving, just keep going.
I love
Hmm.
that. I agree. And I think something I've been wrestling with too is like this concept of instead of, I don't know how you feel about this, right? But like time versus alignment, like you creating your
Come on now.
creating your timeline, create like
Uh-huh. No,
stepping into what
seriously.
you want to do, because
Hmm.
I agree with you, like everything's waiting for you because what you want what you want and
Once
you're
you
like
want
what
a
you
few.
see, it wants you more, it's a
Uh-huh.
magnet.
Uh-huh.
So it's like TikTok again, going backwards, right? TikTok for you
Hmm.
5 years ago, like go back and tell yourself that. You know what I mean? So
Ah! Come on, like let's go. The
yeah,
video. I used to have like such bad like I used to have to like walk around like I used to have to like take a walk because I sometimes I'll stutter. I mean, I guess not right now, but you know what I sometimes I'll stutter because
yeah,
like confidence and stuff. So I'd be like, okay, go take a walk. Go get the words together. It's only 15 seconds. It's okay. And then I'll be like, I'm back. It
yeah.
was really wild.
I love
But it was
that.
nice. It was really nice.
And that brings me to my next question. What beliefs did you have to unlearn in order to like step into this version of yourself today?
The belief that sex was evil. Because I mean, I can also say like before religion and everything, like people kind of did whatever they wanted, but there were no like consequence. I mean, except like STDs and stuff, like consequences and stuff based on like morality and value, and there was a lot more equality, or sometimes based on just who you were. And religion can be great, good, bad, whatever, but I just lessened the shame on myself, which was really, really nice. Because in my opinion, Christianity can be really shameful. Or depending on the parents like that brought me up, everything is like a sin. Everything is, and I was like, wow, like talking to people who didn't have those beliefs, you can go out to lunch with them, and just the mannerisms are different. And I was like, oh, like that. Like I went to eat with a friend of mine who he's so so sweet, and before I got there, like he had already ordered and I was like. Okay, but he was like, no, 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 it's okay because I ordered something for you too. And I was like, you know what? I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But it was just so interesting. I mean, that doesn't correlate. But it's
No, no, I mean,
what
yeah.
there's that saying, what is common to you is forbidden to someone else. And because there's so many beliefs and some of them are the same and beliefs in like stereotypes and what's it called? Like superstitions. It's like, oh, like these a lot of these are man-made beliefs. So
Yeah.
you can just make it you can just make your own
Yes.
choice. You can do whatever
Yes.
you
Yeah.
it's not, it's not that hard. Like, and then especially with spirits, like spirits are green, they're taller than you. I'm like I'm 5'7", but like on a good day I'm 6 foot. Anyway, but so like spirits, they're really tall. They're a lot bigger. They have different shapes. They have different eyes. They have multiple faces. They have wings, horns. And I'm now at this point like I'm used to seeing some spirits, which are cool. A lot of spirits look like animals, so like I like animals. So it kind of helps. But
Yeah.
once they talk to you and you're like, oh, and they're like, oh, do this, and they're like, oh, well, I'm not part of that ethnicity group, and they're like, well, and of course, like without stepping on anyone's culture, but it's interesting because they're not either. They're green, they're blue, so there's not. much racism, and especially with like demons and stuff, because all of them look very different. Some of them have horns, some of them, like you can see it in like the Goetia. Some of them walk on two legs, some of them have four, like Asmodeus, he has four faces. Some of them do have wings. And the jinn, a lot of them look like mammals and stuff, like merfolk and everything, which is so cool. And of course, they have their own features, but they're like, do what you love, and if it doesn't implicate someone else, then it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And
like, yeah, okay, cool.
yeah, thank you. And I like what you said earlier about your first experiences with things like conversations about shame. I feel like shame is the
Hmm.
lowest vibration, and it's literally meant to keep you in the ground, unless you
It's a
can,
horrible thing.
yeah, and you can
Hmm.
transmute that energy into something else, you
Hmm.
know. Um, and I've worked with like Lilith a little bit too in that sense. Um, and it's so freeing, you know, like
Hmm.
when
She
you
does anything she wants.
yeah.
She does anything she wants. She's fantastic. Like
Yeah,
the original girl boss. Uh-huh.
yeah, but when you're able to like look that in the eye and be like, I don't like, let me I we don't need to live here. We don't need to be chained to this,
Yeah.
you know? And I feel
What's
like
that saying?
the
Like,
yeah.
you're not a tree, you can move. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You can. Especially nowadays, like travel is so important. Like, go to Jamaica, Dubai, Algeria, or and trying to like just go anywhere. And then there are people who live totally different lives,
Yeah.
and everything's so normal with it. It's just so cool. Like, I really love people. I like talking to people, and I love these conversations because, so you said you're from Baltimore, or did I get that right?
Boston.
Boston. I'm sorry. I was like, I know, but
That's
and then
okay.
now you're in Florida. So without technology or without us talking, like we would have never had this experience. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'll treasure this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, for real. What do you think your younger self would say about who you've become? Would they know who you are?
Yes, because I think I always had a vision of me being happy, and my childhood wasn't the greatest. So I think I would look at myself and be like, oh, he smiles as much as he wants, and I'd be proud of that.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Hmm.
I love that. What
Hmm.
message do you want people to feel in your presence, whether they work with you or just consume your content, or have this conversation right now? You know,
Probably peace. And then things are a lot simpler than necessary. Not saying like life is, hard or easy or something like that. Life is life. It is what it is. But at any point you can stop and take a rest and be like, yeah, let's just look around, and then we'll just keep going when we can.
yes, I love that. And
Thank
then,
you.
what did you think was broken in you that actually ended up being your superpower? I think you talked a little bit about isolation and like shame.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I still barely go outside sometimes. But I used to be really a lot more erratic, I guess. Like, I loved martial arts, I love dancing, I still do now. But when I started working with spirits, they're like, you need to put that energy into yourself. Like, you need to stop running away from yourself and put that into your mind. And I started thinking more and started being patient with myself, and not talking bad about myself, or just kind of like having just like random thoughts for no reason. I was like, oh, like, let's just think about this. And it made more sense. I stopped having I used to do anxiety really, really bad. But now, like, since I've sat down, I make sure I eat, what I'm saying? I make sure I get my little sunlight in. I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty good. So I
I
think
love
I'm fine
that.
now. Thank you.
And those are like basic needs, you know. So like if your basic
Yeah.
needs are not met, you're not going to do well, right? You know.
What?
So
You're
like when we
not.
have
You're just
anxiety, like that's a like yeah, I agree with you. Like take a step back,
that fight or flight.
breathe.
It's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. No, and it makes sense though, you know. And we can't get there through like judgment of ourselves and like shame. Only love. I believe in this
You
quote. It's like
know?
the only way out is through, and that's through
I say it all
compassion.
the time. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
exactly. No,
Yeah.
you're right. Exactly. I think everybody hates you, sleep. And if you hate anyone, eat. And if you hate yourself, shower. I'm like, oh, cool. Because your body still thinks, like, your body still has to survive. So we're still animals at heart. If
Hmm.
you take care of your basic needs, you'll be pretty fine. You'll be all
Yeah.
right.
I love that. And then
Mm-hmm.
another question. As someone with a large following like yourself, I'm not going to stop saying that because I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What do you like? What message do you have for people who are just starting to get out into like content creation or like sharing their beliefs, because that can be scary to some people,
Mm-hmm.
which is a belief, right?
Uh-huh.
But do you have any advice for people who are just starting out?
Yes. I would say I think I was talking to someone else about this too. One, have good lighting. Try and make sure you look. Now, I'm really bit like I wouldn't come on camera not looking how I want it to look. If I mean, because there's still a what's it called, like a digital footprint. So have the confidence in yourself to make sure you're like, oh, like I can look at myself on camera. Get used to your own voice and everything because that can and then also have a talent. That's what I say. Like I think TikTok is like a talent show. So have a talent, say what you want, and get off and do what you want. Do like have your life. Have a big personal life or private life. Because some people I think confuse social media and reality, and they can be one and the same. However, you need a private life so you can have a sanctuary somewhere. You need to be at home. You need to have a peace where you can just be at home and just chill. So have a little area, you do your thing, whether that's outside or inside, and then go on with your life.
I love that. I think
Mhm.
too. So like I'm a singer songwriter to myself,
Uh-huh.
but it's my name. It's my full name. So and that's fine. I've been doing this my whole life. But it
Hmm.
also is a little bit confusing, like identity
Yeah.
wise, which identity work is something that I do. Um,
Hmm.
but like I said, like it's your name, so you need to have that separation and those boundaries.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Do
Because
you
you
have any
still have to
advice
be
for
you.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You know,
I would. I love your name. It's funny because one of my best friends, her name is Monica, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I knew you were just such a
oh
great person. Uh-huh.
really?
And so, I mean, you have like I see your social media. You have a beautiful presence. You have a great personality. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, maybe the advice would be, make sure you eat healthy and all that stuff and take care of yourself. But like, have as much fun as possible inside, like in the public eye, and then also like outside the public eye. Because, of course, like self love is the best. But honestly, like learning things that you've never thought of, I think is the best thing ever. And
Yeah.
I love music and especially like different types of music. I was in band and everything. Not like you. Like, I'm not brushing up on
No.
your stuff. Like you're awesome. So
Yeah.
but just probably looking to like different I think it's interesting, like different cultures, like how their music is, like especially like their dances, like dances in the Western culture and dances in like African cultures or Brazilian cultures and like China. It's like, oh, like we all like they use different body parts, or like they use it's just like the beats are different. I think that is so interesting. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm half Ethiopian, half Italian. So that's something I want to
Mm.
like dive more into is like my culture. Growing
Uh-huh.
up biracial, it was a weird thing. I don't know. Are you biracial
Uh-huh.
or are you?
Nah, girl, I'm just
Well,
black.
yeah, okay. Okay.
But that is so cool.
Thank you. What is something people misunderstand about healing, alignment, spirituality, or magic? Pick whichever one you want to answer.
Um, I'll probably do the magic one.
Sure. I thought so.
Well, with magic, it's it's that it's easier than people think. It now there's different systems of magic. Like there's two types of magic. You can use herbs and spices, or you can use yourself. You can use the spirituality, spiritual energy, and candles and stuff, or you can use your organs, like your emotions. They both work. You don't have to like sell your soul for anything. It's just whatever you want. Nothing comes to those who wait. So yes, you can pray as much as you want, but if you want it, go get it. No one's gonna give you things. You have to go get something. And magicians have big personalities, and they always want something. Okay, so go change your life. Like, just go do it. Why not? So I think that's so much fun.
I love that. And it's that empowerment. And I think, as both people of color, right? That's freedom. That's
Yeah, really,
truly
it is.
freedom.
Yeah, do what you want. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be, the
And
world,
it
like the apocalypse won't start tomorrow. Hopefully, so it's okay.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be you don't have to suffer.
Yeah.
I'm super into nervous system regulation, which is something that has changed my life and has saved me so much. You talked a little bit earlier about how you have to like take some breaths and like walk around, right? When you're
Mhm.
feeling
Yeah,
dysregulated, or
videos and stuff.
yeah, not to like take words out of your mouth. But do you have any advice for someone who experiences anxiety or needs more help, needs help connecting with themselves again?
Me personally, I probably feel the best when or probably feel best when I make sure I get enough sleep. And I'm not the best sleeper, so it's hard for me to fall asleep easily. So it's mind you, it's noon. So I love it. So I have blackout curtains. I love the dark. I have incense, so I try and make my space like really homey, really comfortable for me. And so that just sets my nervous system down. Like, because I sleep like during the day. I'm like a vampire. I'll sleep during the day and I'll be up at night or vice versa. And I'll be like, that's fine. And that's what my body needs is what I need. So like that's fine. And so I try and get out, I try and exercise, I try and eat my fill. And when I go home, I'll be like, okay, that's enough. And I make sure the music that I listen to supports me. So like the first song I listen to or the first things I say in the morning have to be positive or I just won't speak.
Hmm.
If you don't have anything good to say, I just won't say anything. So I'll just be mad, but quiet
Yeah,
because I don't want my ears to hear that. And so, yeah, say good things to yourself. They really do matter.
I love that. And that comes out of a place of like self love and respect. I think when we get
You have
into
to
those
train
like,
yourself to be your own best friend. It
yeah,
truly.
yeah, I love that. Have you always been someone who prefers to be by themselves, or do you prefer to be around others? Like, when did that change?
I,
If so,
I've always, I like being with people. I just always end up by myself, which is fine. I think because like since I like to read, I'm a pretty soft-spoken person. I think I always, yeah, I kind of always end up by myself, which is fine. Like I just love, I like to be, I like to have smaller spaces because I feel like they're more interpersonal. We can have better conversations. Crowds are cool, that's fine. But I'll go to a poetry lounge. I love museums. I like to read, and so that's kind of like a one-on-one thing. So like, I just end up being by myself more, but that's okay.
yeah, no, I love that. And
Mm.
then I feel like with social media and with our society right now, there's a false sense of connection, especially with like younger folks, right? Even older. I think it affects everyone, honestly, like the loneliness epidemic. Um,
Yeah.
do you have any advice for people who are trying to like break out of their shells or who want to connect with others, but like have experienced those anxieties,
If you
social
do the
anxiety,
things
I
you like,
guess.
right? Yeah, do the things you like regularly. So like they say that like when people like date with their coworkers and stuff, they not now some of them really work out cool, but they usually don't find them attractive. It's like forced proximity or something like that because people are usually friends in school because you have to be with these people and you learn to work with them. So if you go to the same like talk shows or comedy shows like regularly, there's other people that go regularly, and so and then like at the shows or concerts or like whatever, or just in like even at the grocery store, you'll find people that are like, oh, like I see you before, and y'all would just somehow strike a conversation. Go to the places consistently, and then you'll meet somebody because someone else is doing the same thing
Yeah,
because they like to be there. So
yeah,
that's what helped me. And so, and there's like apps and stuff now to like find friends, which are really really cool. But do the things that you already like to do, so you can find friends that already like to do those same things. Y'all can join them together.
yeah. And that there are people out there for you. Like if you want it,
Yeah.
there's someone else who wants it just
There's
as
someone
bad
there,
as
man.
you.
Like if it wouldn't exist if it didn't have a purpose. So it's there for a reason. So yeah.
I love that. And then what do you feel like you're on earth right now in this moment to teach? If you can
Um,
wrap it up in like a few words.
how to put yourself on the other side. Magic is about pulling everything here, but I want to go there because there's more to experience. And so since I do it a lot, I want other people to do that a lot. It's fun.
I love that. I love that so much. And do you see yourself anywhere in the next few years, or are you like more of an in the moment type of person?
I do actually. I really
Yeah.
want to build a temple for like Jinn or like for people to just come and meditate. People fall asleep in front of me like all the time, which is nice. I feel like that they get comfortable around me, which is good. But I would love for to have a space where people can meditate with their own different deities, especially if they can't do it at home or find more information about different entities that are not talked about in different religions and stuff, and have a really good personal connection with just entities in general. Spirits are always treated as other, when spirits are just right next door to us. And since we already have the relationship, since we share the same space, we might as well share conversations. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot we can learn too if like we just open our minds up to that a little bit more.
Might as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for today. It's been
Thank you,
amazing
thank you.
talking with you.
You too. This
Is
has been
there
so much fun. So I'm really happy. Uh-huh.
yeah, is there anything else you want to like leave in someone's heart today, these viewers?
Um,
What do you want to share with
have as
them?
much fun as possible. Have as much fun as possible. Like there, what's that quote? Like the ending is a graveyard, so you might as well have fun today. So just and like every day, of course, like live for the moment. Like plan for stuff, but don't forget yourself. Like just when people say like, oh, they're people pleasers, you need to please yourself also. Like you might as well. You matter. You really, really do.
I
People
love
forget
that.
themselves all the time.
I love that. I love that so much. And I also think that that's actually what my EP is about. You should listen to it when you have time. It's called I'm
I
Here
sure
Once.
will. I love it.
Thank you. It was one of the songs on there. It's my favorite song. It's called Carheart, and it's about
Okay.
pretty much like I'm in such a crazy part of my life. I'm just gonna let go and have fun. I'm literally just gonna have fun. There's
You know,
no other option. I'm gonna be
you
fine
might as
either way.
well.
Yeah, and that if everything will be okay in the end, everything's not okay right now, then this is not the end. If I trust the
Come on.
process, right, then
Hey. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna live right now. You know?
You'll be all right. Yeah. I like that. Say
Yeah.
that one more time. If everything's not gonna be okay in the end, but it's not okay, then I'm gonna write that down. I like that one.
Perfect. I definitely didn't make that up, but well, thank you so much for your time today. One more time,
Thank you
where
so
can we
much,
find you?
Monica.
Where can we
I'm
find
on
you?
TikTok. I'm on Instagram. My TikTok is concept of Jinn. Concept, literally the word of Jinn, DJINN. And then my Instagram is my name, Mahai Dragun. And so yeah, bam. And then that's
And
me.
then if we can, do you still do like readings and stuff like that if we
Oh
want to
yes,
book you?
yeah,
Where's that?
yeah. I do.
Okay.
My website is linked on there. My link tree. I do readings. I do spell work for people. I do past life readings. I do deity readings. Like if they're trying to either summon different deities, some different entities, make contracts, make pacts. Also work. I teach classes. How to summon spirits. How to make spirits. How to do sigils. So on and so forth. Yeah, so much fun. Just in mentorship and everything too. And I do readings. Love life the works. Mhm.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, you
I hope
too.
we'll stay in contact. Of course, you're such an amazing
Yes.
person. And yeah, I'll see you soon.
Amazing. Thank you.